Greetings, hello, and welcome everyone. Welcome to DevChatter. My name is Brendan, and obviously this channel is DevChatter, as it says it like around in different places. Welcome, happy Saturday, everyone. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day. We are going to do something that I don't know how well it's going to work today, because I have never actually set this up, so we're going to give it a try. The plan for today is to try and set up the, I guess, Twitch implicit flow authorization in the stream today. So, and I'll probably mention this a little bit once more people have arrived, but I figured I'd let you all know since you're here right away. So, welcome everyone. If you are new here, feel free to join us, speak in the chat, or stay silent, up to you. Feel free to make suggestions, ask questions. If you notice that I'm doing something crazy, feel free to point it out. Say hello to any friends that you've got here in chat. We've got a nice, welcoming community. I want to shout out to Andre and Strife. Hello, greetings. Welcome to the stream. If you are new here, a couple of things that I do want to make sure that I mention to everyone. First off, we have a fairly nice Discord community, and by fairly nice I mean I've never seen a single like not nice interaction in our Discord. It's a very good group. Got ideas, suggestions, things you want to talk about, see something interesting going on the internet. It's a nice place with other technical people around, and a good spot for just having a chat about stuff. If you're interested in looking at any of our projects, the code that we do here on stream, for the most part, is out on GitHub. You can find it at github.com/devchatter. There's a link over there. Obviously, we are here on our live stream, so if you are here today, welcome, and feel free to follow along with anything we're doing, or you know, just sit back and watch. Up to you. Lastly, if you haven't seen any of our episodes before or want to see any of our past episodes, you can find archives of them on our YouTube channel, which I've linked over there. There's also links down below, and a lot of our videos, the recent ones especially, you'll find in the video section here on Twitch, so up to you if you want to check those out. As I said, my name is Brendan. I am the host of DevChatter, but DevChatter is a community of awesome developers, so make sure you get to know everyone in chat too, because it's really, really a great group. Welcome, Coding Gorilla. Hi. And also, Strife, I absolutely love that you used our high emote. I'm a big fan of our high emote. Why is Twitch giving me 2 sets of all the emotes? I have no idea. Desert Griffin, hey, welcome back. So, let's get started. Let's talk about our application and what we want to do with this stuff. So, if you've been here before, you probably know that the application we're what? The project to be run, what? This is the project to run, isn't it? Set as startup project. What are you smoking, Visual Studio? Hang on, I'm just gonna build here for a second. I think I might have gotten confused by something I did, so I'm gonna rebuild, because I was doing something weird earlier in the week, and I'm betting I caused some kind of a problem here. But anyway, back to this. We're gonna do a quick build of this application and see what we get. So the program we've been building, obviously we're writing in C#. That's our main language that we use here on the stream, though we do a reasonable amount of JavaScript on here as well, as you know, we used to make Java. Are you kidding me? You really don't want to run this? Start. This configuration. What are you smoking? I don't have any changes to the configuration. Clean. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, but I'm going to do a couple of cleans first. Really, really clean. Yeah, so the weird thing I was doing, yeah, exactly. The weird thing that I was doing with this is, I was looking at making this actually a Windows application, and by that I mean deploy as a Windows application, so you could toss it in the Windows store. I was looking into that, and so I'm wondering if maybe it left an artifact somewhere, which actually is a good point. Let's open up the solution and see if we can see anything in here. So while we're messing with this thing and trying to get it to restart actually run, I will tell you a little bit about the program we're building. So it is WPF and .NET Core 3. So all the preview bits, so it is .NET Core 3, not a .NET Full Framework app, so it is the, I guess, lighter weight, newer way of doing a WPF application. It is obviously still Windows only, because even though .NET Core is cross-platform, the WPF framework that we are using is still Windows only. I'm not terribly worried about that, and the reason why is that the game that our program connects to is Windows only also, because the program is the Final Fantasy VII like PC version that we connect to, and since that is Windows only, that is obviously a restriction we had anyway, so I'm not worried about it. Wow, it really doesn't want to do it. Did it leave remnants in here? It must have. Did I commit changes to this? No, that's not changes. As is, yes, exactly, yes. Windows Forms and obviously the UWP applications are all going to be Windows only. Actually, let's bring that back. I am going to open this in Windows Explorer, and we're going to take a look. Did I leave remnants of something somewhere? Packages. I'm going to have a quick look in my solution real fast just to see if anything jumps out at me. Well, I've been building the app, so let's just try and run the executable. Okay, so I can just run the executable. For some reason, Visual Studio doesn't want to run it, but the app is here, so we're going to have trouble debugging, but it does run. This is it. So this is just a simple little WPF application, nothing fancy about any of this, just a basic program. But there's a couple of things we want to do. So in our settings, we have a section about Twitch. And in this Twitch settings right here, we have we need to give the username of the bot. So while this program's running, let me just go ahead and connect it. So you'll see it says Interactive 7 is live, and the program is running, and we can actually still use it even though I don't have the game running. So if you watch that little box, you'll see that the color changes when we type in that command. And just so that everybody knows, you get full control of the corners, and it'll do some fancy stuff like that. So we do that inside the game. So Final Fantasy VII has its menu colors change, and that's basically what the program does. It does a couple of other things as well. This information here, obviously, a user can type in the username of their bot, and they can type in their Twitch channel name. However, in order to actually make this work, they also need to give us their access token. So we need their OAuth token, and it needs to look kind of like that. So I don't display that. So it actually has mine saved, but I don't display it here because obviously I don't want to show my OAuth token on stream. And I don't want anyone else that's running this program to accidentally do that either. So we do not show it in the application, despite, you know, this only running on the streamer's computer. we don't want to display it anywhere so that no one accidentally shows it. But in order to get that, they have to go get the right type of OAuth token. Now, we could provide instructions for how they can go and get one, or what we can do is I want to make it so that they can click a button and log in to get their access token applied. So that's what we're going to do. So let's alter that page. So in order to alter it, we're going to go in here and take a look at mainwindow.xaml. So this is our big main window. That's the base window that we've got. All of the layout for the application is here. Inside of this, you'll find that there is a tab for settings. And inside of here, there is a sub-tab that is for the Twitch settings. And the Twitch settings just have this basic stuff in them. And that's the one with the placeholder. So this is the one we want to be able to fill in. I want to put something down below this stuff. So let's add another row. And then below that, I want to put a button. So we're going to put in row 3... a label that says maybe refresh access token. That might be good enough. Refresh access token. Okay. And then instead of having a watermark text box here, because why would we want a watermark text box there? Did I leave that from... Whoops. Let's just do this, Brendan. Let's not mess that up. There we go. I need to put a button there. And in order to do that, I want to grab this. So I'm going to borrow that code and put it right there. So this is not going to be called connect. This is going to be grid.row3 grid.column1, and the content is going to be log into Twitch. And I'm going to say bot access token. Okay, alignment center with some padding. We'll take a look at that in a minute to see how that actually ends up looking. But I really want to update this command. So here's the trick. So I don't have an on-click or something like that that goes to the code behind, and that's why I opened this up earlier. I want to show you that that is not how we're doing things, right? There is no code behind, really. This is a helper that I had to do that way, and then this is just changing because the password box doesn't do exactly what we want, so I had to kind of tweak it to make it do something the way that I wanted it to work. Really, all of our commands are coming through this main window view model. So we have this bound to the page, and we put commands on here. So we can put the commands here on the main one and do it like this. But what I think is actually going to work better is if we put it on the Twitch settings. So we're going to take the I command from here, and we're going to go to Twitch settings. And this is... Actually, should it go here? No, it's going to go down to the Twitch settings. Twitch settings does not have a constructor, so let's give it a constructor. We'll give it a CTOR. Yes, import that type, and this is going to be open Twitch auth window. There we go. So open Twitch auth window is going to be our command. Let's take a look at how we did our other commands. It's not that one, it's this one. So we set them up as new simple commands that call something on something. Oh, Kitstead, if you're talking about this, that is through Resharper that I'm doing this, and I can actually type in any page. So if I want to go to the Twitch OAuth window, I can do that, and that's just a keyboard shortcut in Resharper that allows me to do that. But if you don't have Resharper or CodeRush or any other productivity tool on top of Visual Studio, there is one built into Visual Studio as well, and all you need to do that is hold Control and hit comma. And if you do Control comma, it brings up a separate one, which is not as nice. So it pops up in this little corner, and I can do it from here too. So let's say that I want to go to our app.xaml page, right? And then I can load that as well. So it's not as nice because it shoves into like the corner of the code window, which gets weird when you're on one of the pages that has a display like this one, for example. Yeah, so when I do Control comma here, it puts it down in this code window instead of like putting it up like it's not consistent, because it's based on where the code window is instead of always appearing front and center to navigate me. So that's like just one of a variety of reasons why I don't like the built-in one as much. But it did get baked in at one point, so I'm just glad Visual Studio has it. Okay. So we are going to make this a window that opens when we do that. So let's do it. What opens our main window? Our main window is opened by appxaml.cs. I believe it is in here. Press main window.show. Okay, so did this get registered? Main window. I know the view model's in here. Okay, so it didn't. It's just loading it based on that. Yeah, exactly, Kitstead. So my recommendation for anybody, because I know that we've got a lot of CodeRush fans in here as well. Obviously, if you have the money to, I recommend most developers pick up some kind of productivity tool to add into Visual Studio, as they generally are just nice and can optimize some of the things that we do all the time. So if you have the ability to, it is often worth doing just to make some of the things that we do all the time a little bit easier. Okay, so what did we call that command? We called it that. So our binding is against open Twitch auth window. So when someone clicks this button, it is going to run this command. So we need to make this command do something. So it's going to be a new simple command with an action on it. What do we want that action to be? That's a good question. We could just do this. If we make this take in a Twitch auth window. Ooh, I can't put it here. Because that won't know about it. We won't use a simple command. That's the short answer. So I made simple command here. And it just does this. But we need a more complex command in order to make this work. So I am going to go to this location and... All assets, I don't really have a great spot for this. So we'll just make a commands folder for now. If we decide that we need to have more structure later, we can. This is going to be the foo command for now, because I'm not sure what it is. Don't let lack of a good name slow you down. What's the reference for this? System Windows Input. I always tell people just put in a name, fix the name later. It's easy to change it, especially, again, if you're using a program that has good renaming, which Visual Studio does, and so do a lot of the productivity tools that I was talking about. Okay, so there's foo command. Can execute, I think, is just always true. Did I think? Yeah, I didn't do anything weird with that. We're just going to say true. I don't know what we're going to do with that. Did I do anything weird with event handler? Can execute. I gave this a constructor and gave it a value. We don't... our constructor is going to take in the window, I think. And then... So it's saying that's never used, but I don't think that's the case. Because it'll never change. Yeah, we never change it, so it'll never happen. And then that just executes. So I don't think we need to do anything special there. Let's set up the constructor, and in here we're gonna say Twitch auth window. Auth window. We're going to save this as a field. So when this gets created, it's going to automatically put that in there. And then we're going to say window.show when they click this. That'll get us a Twitch auth window. So this is no longer a foo command. What is this? This is the... show Twitch auth command, because it shows the Twitch auth page. I'm renaming a file, yes. Okay, cool, it failed, great. Thanks. I should point out to anyone that's wondering that we are running the preview version of Visual Studio, and we are also running the early access versions of Resharper. So when we, inevitably run into problems with either or both of them, that's part of why. Alright, so in here, inside of Twitch settings, I need to somehow get that command. Now, how do I want to do that? I can either make an interface allowing a redirect so that this can have it, which I think I'll do. So let's do that. Because I do want this to get wired up. So I'm going to make an iShowTwitchAuth command, which, yes, I know is a significant redirect to have to create for this. MVVM commands. We're going to make an interface in here that is going to be the iShowTwitchAuth command. And it is going to also implement the system Windows input command, just like that. Meaning this is going to implement it, and that's really the only thing about it. Right? Execute that. So, yeah. That's all we have to do. Okay. So now, inside of our Twitch settings, whoops. iShowTwitchAuth command, show Twitch auth command, and then inside of the constructor, whoops, show Twitch, what? Show, yeah, there you go. Occasionally, IntelliSense just boggles my mind. I think they've never taken the assumption that if you run into something that does not have an obvious autocomplete, maybe you should remove the last letter. Seems like an obvious bit of fuzzy searching there that, like, I don't know why it doesn't do that, but eh. Greendolf, 16 months. You did hit your next power of 2. That is awesome. And thank you for the DevChatter love there. That is quite nice. Welcome to the stream. We are just setting up some of this stuff here. Okay, so in this one, inside of application settings, static create new instance. Ooh, that's why we're doing this. Okay. So what that tells me is I need to stop building this the way that I am. So we won't do a static constructor anymore. We're gonna make this do this. So we'll no longer have a private set. But this needs a backing field. Whoops. Give me a backing field, please. There's the instance. And then we're gonna say, now here's the magic, everyone. We're gonna do, so we're gonna do this the simple way to start with. So we're gonna say instance equals, and then what is it? It's let me see if I remember how to do this. Instance or new instance, right? Do I need these? Am I in C#8? I didn't think I was using C#8. Hang on. Did I switch this to C#8? No. Resharper, you shouldn't be suggesting that. I'm not in C#8. So for anyone that hasn't seen this, this is an awesome operator that's getting added into C#8. Question mark equals sign, and essentially what it says is if the argument on the left, so if this value here, this expression, if it's null, then compute the expression on the right, assign that to the value on the left, and return it. So this basically says if instance is null, assign it new application settings into it and return that value, which is just fantastic. Okay. So here's what we need to do. We need to change the way this application runs a little bit so that we immediately create our settings. Actually, do I even want to do this? No. No, I don't. We're switching this back to an auto property because I think I'd rather have it blow up if this is null. Because I want to make sure that I actually set it. Although this is going to break tests if I do it. Okay, we'll let the tests call it that way and just hope that I set it up correctly. What is this? This is the settings. Load the settings. So that loads them into app settings, which means before we call this, we need to we need to have that created before we do this. Oh, how do we do that? How do we do that? We're configuring services here. We're out of order if we go this direction. This can't get created this way. Maybe I guess it needs to go on the view model. We'll put it on the view model. Alright. You win, thing. You win. It goes on the view model. Okay. We'll do it. Show Twitch OAuth command. Are we not in... Oh no, this is core also. Okay. That's fine. I show Twitch auth command. So that is the show Twitch auth command. Okay, so that's been assigned there. So now that is usable on that. Let's go back to settings and put this back the way that it was. So that setting's back to normal, and then this one, same thing, back to the way it was, because we know that works. Alright, if we're going to have this in here, that needs to be registered before we create the view model. So let's take a look. We create the view model when we create the window, I believe. It's in the constructor of this, correct? There it is. Okay, so we create it for that, which means it just needs to be in the dependency registrar. Now that's different. Those are those types of commands. Did I not? I guess I didn't need to make one. Services. I need to split these up at some point. We need to make a I show Twitch auth is a show Twitch auth command. Yep, that's what it is. So now it should be able to load it when we create the window, which means it gets created here, gets passed into there. So now our challenge is inside of main window, when this is running, we need access to that command. Let's ask the interwebs, because I don't remember how to do that. WPF bind to parent DB context. Maybe I should root context, not DB context. Yeah, no, it is data context, but not DB context. EF core was getting confused. Okay, yeah. Binding data context dot my property. Since the text block and the text block. Relative source. Got it. Was there root the my user control? Okay. Whoops, XAML relative source. I think that's what we want to do. Thank you, interwebs. If you want to bind to another property on the object, if you want to bind on an ancestor, okay. Where's an example, please? They don't actually have an example of this. I want to smack someone sometimes. I'm just like, why don't you just show me what it is that I'm trying to do? Okay, so I need to say relative source. So I'm going to change this to be a path equals because I'm making it more complex. So I'm going to add a path equals, and then I'm going to say a relative source. What's this complaining about? Yeah, no, it's not going to be self. Templated parent. Hey, that's funny. It's saying it said the same one 3 times. That's funny. Okay, so relative source is relative source mode. So this is what we're going to put inside of our relative source, I think. Yeah, relative source. Got 2 open, so we need 2 closes. So this is our relative source. X type, and then type of the ancestor. What is this thing that we're in? Window? Did we put the main data context? Is it on the window? I think it is. Let me look at the source code for this. Is this where we bound it? View model data context is on the window. Okay. So at the point where we're changing, over here, window. What do you think of that? Path. Cannot resolve in... What? Okay, we're going to try main window view model. Can it find that? I don't know that it can find that. If you want to get a property on the templated parent, no, we're not doing that. If you want to get a property on an ancestor, I don't want to get a property on the ancestor. I want to bind to the data context of it. If you want to bind to a property... wait, hang on. Just wanted to note here that if you want to bind to a property in the data context of a relative source, then you must explicitly specify it. Path data context some property. Okay. Yeah, see, I wondered about that. Which means data context dot that. Yeah, so it's complaining because it can't find it on an object because it doesn't know the type of the data context at compile time here. But at runtime, it should know what that is and should be able to do it. Exactly. No, I remember when Stack Overflow came out, we were basically like, that's brilliant. Like, it's going to answer questions way better than these forums we've all been using for years. And to be honest, even so, back in the early days of Stack Overflow, it was like lightning fast. People would answer questions on there because it was, there were a lot of people basically fighting to be the top of Stack Overflow. But then, in addition, there was also not as much toxicity in the in the community around Stack Overflow at the time, back in the early days, because there were not as many questions that had been asked already, and people were not so strict about, like, oh, that's off topic, and like immediately, or oh, you asked your question wrong, so you will get no answer. No, it has gotten way friendlier than it was in the past, so. Okay, because we were having problems with Visual Studio, I'm going to go ahead and run the program manually, and we'll see if it works. Are you loading program? I can't tell if you're loading or crashing. I think it's crashing. Because it's not doing anything. Let me try... Yeah, still won't do... I'm going to Google this, because I didn't last time. And that was a mistake to not Google this ridiculous error. Wait, Resharper? I just noticed that's a Resharper error. Okay, Resharper. Tools. Run configurations. OMG, I cannot believe that was Resharper causing that issue the whole time. Resharper, I'm gonna smack you. That was annoying. So I think because this is blowing up on the WPF page, the application just doesn't run. Could be that it didn't register something, but we're gonna find out. Unable to resolve service type Twitch OAuth window. Oh, I thought that was gonna work. Well... We'll add it in. That's fine. I really thought that was going to work because I didn't see a registration for main window. Oh no, it was right there. Derp. Okay, now we're good. And we're past that stupid Visual Studio error that was making me have to actually load the program manually. By the way, if anyone's looking for something interesting to do in chat, I do have a program running that if you happen to type a color or any hex code, you can actually change the overlay color on my stream here if you want to mess with stuff. Okay, so here's the program. Yay! It's working! Let's have a look at settings. Twitch. Log into Twitch. Refresh bot and access token. Looks good. Yep, that's perfect. I see nothing wrong with this. What are you talking about? I don't know who you are, but thank you for the follow person who is with Nathan. Tell Nathan I said hi. If you see him, that is. Okay, so I'm thinking that that we want to just set a width on this. So let's just make it like width 300, and then we'll call it a day. Did I nuke the thing when I did that? I might have. That was weird. Alright. Let's see what happens when we click the button this time, now that it looks less crazy. Or at least we're hoping it looks less crazy. Yep, that looks less crazy. I probably shouldn't have it centered. I should probably have it to the left. But... oh, look at that! How happens if I click it again? Okay. Oh, if I click it twice, it crashes. Oh! Oh. I guess I should make a new one when it does that then. In that case, I might need to do something terrible that I don't like doing. So if they hit the button again, I always need to make a new one. The window closing, I can't show it again. I need a new instance. The problem is I can't make a new instance every time unless I'm actually getting one, so... I guess I'm doing this, which I hate, but I see no other option, really. So we'll do get service of type Twitch OAuth window. We'll call it _auth window and then fix the name. So we'll get and show it, and then once we show it, then it should be there and usable. We'll try that, see what happens. Over in our settings, Twitch, log into Twitch. Okay, so it opens this little window. I can close that. I can click it again. Ooh, because I made it a singleton. That's my fault. That's my fault. I did that. We're going to make it transient. Okay. And while we're in here, let's fix this. Vertical alignment is going to be center, but we want the horizontal alignment centered as well. By that I mean left. We want it centered as well, and by centered I mean not centered at all. Words. And for anyone that is wondering, this application we're building, this is so if you came in late, we are building a WPF application using C# and .NET Core 3, and there's our little window, and click it again, and hey, it opens up a new window. Can I make multiples of these? Yes, I can. How many of these little things do we want? Alright, so we'll worry about the fact that you can make multiples later. Fixing that should be fine. But the piece that we're planning on doing right now is make it so that instead of having to type in your OAuth access token by hand, or copy-paste, really, you're not going to type it in by hand, but instead of having to copy-paste it and set up your own, we're going to make it so you click this button, it opens up a little window, you type in your credentials, and it logs you in. So... that gets us a little window. I kind of want even to just show this part. Let's review. So that's the creation of the window. That's that. That's adding these to... We only need one instance of the command. We don't want to recreate that every time because we're only really ever going to make one. Even though it doesn't have state. Main window, that adds in the button. That's the flow bit. I'm gonna not commit that just yet. Okay, so this is window for Twitch OAuth. That's really what we're doing. We're setting up the window to be able to do the Twitch authorization. We haven't done it yet. Next up, we need to put a browser in that window. So let's open up that window. Where is it? I don't have it open. It's over here. There is some kind of control that I can put in here that is a browser. Web browser, I think. What kind of options do we have in here? I want it to automatically go somewhere. First off, height is going to be the whole thing. Is it gonna not let me do that? Guess it won't let me do that. URL? Source? There we go. Okay, so source needs to be bound to a data context item of some kind. So, what do we want to put on this? What did I call that? Where's my Twitch auth? Whoops. Binding to that. Object of type binding cannot be converted to system.uri. Son of a gun! I have to convert that. WPF value converter. You know what? I have a value converter, don't I? I already have some in here. We're just going to look at one of our existing ones. Hang on 1 second, everyone. Okay. So let's make a class called URI value converter. So convert is what we want. So this sends it to what we want to display in the control. So this means that this needs to return a new URI object. So that's this direction. So we need to say, whoops. We don't want to click page down. We want to say if object is string str. Whoops, not object, value, string str, return a new URI that takes in the value of str. Otherwise, I think we want to throw an invalid argument. Throw argument exception? Yeah, we'll throw an argument exception. Whoops, new argument exception. And we're going to say value must be a string. And it's going to be name of value. S&B, welcome, greetings. You're hoping for some live and very dangerous coding. I don't know about dangerous, but we are doing some WPF. I guess that's kind of dangerous in some ways. Why is my phone saying I have an event now? What is the event it thinks that I've got right now? Phone, what are you talking about? I don't think I forgot about anything. No, it's letting me know. Just so you know, everyone, I am supposed to start up my DevChatter stream an hour ago. That's what. This stream we're doing Twitch OAuth stuff. So, yep, Twitch OAuth. Gonna connect to Twitch. Gonna make the OAuths happen. We don't convert back, do we? We're just one-way converting this. Yeah, there is no convert back on the URI converter right now. Although I guess we could do this. We can just kind of say... Thanks. If value is URI, return URI dot absolute URI. Otherwise, throw an argument exception and say value must be a URI. Good enough. Let's give it its own... Whoa, no, why? Why would that be the top option? Why would that be the top option? Come on. What are you guys smoking here? Alright, URI value converter. Let's go to AppXAML. Right over here. Right next to my other converters, I am going to put in the URI value converter. Actually, that's the smallest one. That's going to go first. Wheatlol, hey, greetings, welcome. Cornflower. Yeah, I think cornflower works. Blue definitely worked. You can do lime. Yeah, blue screen of death blue. But lime works pretty... I actually like the lime. It's nice and bright and looks, you know, like it's obvious and interesting. It looks really good in this small scale. Like, you do a whole screen of lime and it's blinding. But yeah, magenta works well too. I like it because it's also got that like glowing effect. So magenta and lime are both good. Yeah, exactly. So I do apply my own little neon effect into that. That is kind of making those, so just a bit. Okay, so we have our converters there. Then on this page, I need to do a converter. So we'll say path equals that, and then converter static resource URI converter. S&B coming in with the 13-month resub. Very nice. That's going to be a Grenadon showing there in a second. That is awesome. Thank you very much for being a Twitch Prime subscriber to DevChatter. Always good stuff. Why does it say... It says it can't find that one? Maybe I just need to build? Yes, the Grenadon is quite awesome. I like him. To be fair, though, I really like Auth, too. There are a lot of cool, like, stream mascots roaming around. One of my other favorites... Hang on, let me load up the site with my other account. I am also a fan of this one. That's the mascot of a friend of mine's channel. He's got that one that I like. I'm a big fan of that one, and obviously I like our Chatasauruses as well. Okay, so let's bring this onto the screen, go over here, log into Twitch, and crash? Oh, right, there's no data context, is there? Derp. There is no data context, Brendan. It would help if you, you know, made one. Let's say Twitch OAuth view model, which we'll just call view model. Okay. What did I do in the back of this one? After initializing a component, I set these values. And then I made an actual view model object to keep track of it just in case, because I was a little bit paranoid that we might lose it. Now, main window view view model. It's right here. Where do you live? You're over here. So inside of this, I'm going to create a class called Twitch OAuth view model. Did I give any special base? No, I didn't, so nothing special about that. You like instafluffs. I don't know what instafluffs is. Yes, S&B. That is in fact a duck-billed platypus. It is absolutely ridiculous. He's got some really good. I'm a big fan of his emotes. I will toss a bunch of them in stream just so you can see. They're quite good. Here is a pile of emotes. He's got some good ones. A lot of people have good emotes, but those are some of my favorites. Oh, nothing like a link from Wheatlol. No way that could, you know, go poorly. I can't tell what that is. It's like a bear or something? It's a little bear? It's just a cute thing, I think. I don't know. Looks kind of like a bear. Like a little cute bear. Who wouldn't want that stuff? Yeah, I have no idea what animal it is, but it does look cute, I'll give you that. Twitch OAuth view model is going to have a couple of things. So the main bindings, implicit auth implicit flow. It's this stuff I put in here, which I'm just going to shift over to there for now. Auth request URL, which we're going to have be a property that we get like this. When you call the view model, so when you create this, we're going to make a private, public static string that we're going to call state. Read-only string that we're going to call state, and it's going to equal gwid.newGwid .toString. It's called tpup. Nice. There you go. Okay, so let's talk about the OAuth connection. So auth request URL is the property we're binding to. We don't really need that anymore. I think it's done. This needs to come in. That's going to bind to there. It's getting created So inside of the XAML, as long as the URL we're connecting to is auth request URL, and we're doing a converter, here's the way that the Twitch auth works. So you send your user out to this page, you pass in your client ID, which says what application you are, you pass in the redirect URL, which in this case is going to be localhost even when we release the application, because they're running their own website locally. So their local app, their WPF application, can connect to itself, essentially, and display its own browser to complete the cycle. Then we should be able to say the response type that we want is going to be a token, so essentially we want their access token. And then the scope that they're passing in is it's a list of the permissions that we want to have access to on their account. So it's essentially they're saying, hey, I'm going to let this program access some of my stuff. So one of the things we need is permission to read and write to the chat. So this is essentially authorizing the bot to talk in chat. Then the last thing we're going to pass in is this little state variable. Now, in our case, this matters a lot less because they're running locally, so we're not expecting it. But I wanted to make sure that I showed this value because if you are going to use Twitch authorization like this or any other OAuth service, this is something that's common in these types of connections. Essentially, the idea is you create a token that's just a unique ID for a one-time use call so that you can tell when you get a response back that, oh, that was associated with that one. And so you don't get them mixed up. You know whose it was. And that means that someone else can't just send me an access token and make me think that's the valid one I'm supposed to be using. So it's essentially a way of making sure I don't get tricked. Is create an access token, send it out, and it better match when it comes back. Okay. Hang on one second, everyone. Running out of developer fuel. I was on fumes there for a moment. That is some delicious, delicious caffeine. All right, let's see what we can do. Run it. What do we got? Also, I should make sure everyone knows today's caffeine of choice is, well, it's kind of hard to tell from the can. First off, it is loyal to the Empire. However, that would be a Pepsi Max, but specifically the wild cherry flavor. It's very good. Not sponsored yet. If anyone knows anybody at Frito-Lay or Pepsi or anything like that, feel free to put them in contact. I would love to be able to wear some like Pepsi jerseys and have a supply of Pepsi flavored caffeine delivered here. So. Crash. All right, what do we got? Unable to resolve service for type Twitch auth view model. Oh, yep, that's true. Good job. It's also cool that it doesn't actually do it until till that point when I'm doing that, which is kind of funny. Register. There we go. The registrar. It registers things. The register. Settings. Twitch. Log into Twitch. What do we got? A binding cannot be set on the source property of a type web browser. Can only be set on a dependency property of a dependency object. Okay. What am I supposed to bind this to then? Whoops. Let's see if that got copied to the clipboard or not. I can't be the first person that ever wanted to bind to a web browser. The problem is that the web browser source is not a dependency property. One workaround would be to use some attached property magic to enable this. Really? Why don't they just make it work? Bindable source property, blah 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 blah. Web browser. Yeah, that's stupid. I guess I'm not gonna change it, so it doesn't matter. So yeah. Well, that's really irritating that they do that. So web browser. All right, we're going with the non-MVVM approach because this is being dumb, and that's too annoying of a workaround for something that is really, really small in this application. So this web browser source equals viewModel that. New URI there. Also, I should bind that again so that I have it just in case. So we set the web browser to that source, and then after we go there, can go back equals false, which I guess I could set these properties on the other side. Or maybe that's checking gets about. Oh, that indicates whether or not whether or not there is a spot to navigate back to. DPI change, focus change. Source updated, not changed. It's updated. There we go. Why? What is that? Why is a nullable attribute 2 thingamabob? What? Resharper, what are you doing? I'm blaming you, buddy. I think that was you doing that. Okay, trying to do something fancy. Do something here. Let's run the program and see what happens. So this page is going to need to register to listen for an event, I think, that we're going to trigger out of our web app. So remember, our application is both a WPF application and an ASP.NET Core web application. So in order to have them communicate, we often need to do some kind of eventing. Now, I did not put in like Mediator or anything like that into our application, even though it's pretty lightweight. We probably should, just because that'll make the communication a little bit easier. But I didn't do it yet, which I'll admit is really just I didn't do it. Is this loading? Well, I don't see it loading. Oh! 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 What is this? Now, I don't like the fact that I always have a scroll bar, because it's apparently taking up like just enough space to always do that. So something in there is taking up a little more space than we want, but that is nice. We got it to work. So, hooray. Okay. So in the Twitch Auth window, the title is going to be Twitch authorization. Its width is going to be way smaller than that. what, like a 500 by 500 or something like that? We'll have to take a look at how big that window is. I didn't measure it, and I should have. But that's what I get for not measuring it. Okay, the other thing I need to do in here, what's our eventing structure? I don't actually remember. We're doing just a basic domain events setup, I guess, since I seem to have a domain events object in here. Yeah, I admit I haven't worked on this project in a while, so I don't remember exactly what I did to set things up. Because there's a handful of ways I do things based on just, like, what I'm going to be doing. So probably this application should just switch to a mediator approach, but I think I resisted before because I wasn't sure how well that was going to play with WPF and C#, sorry, not C#. I was about to say C# 3, but no, .NET Core 3. Use the right words. Okay, so I want to... and I want to raise an event. I want to register a callback. So I want to say domain events dot register, and this is going to be an action of type T. So we're going to call this received OAuth. Maybe received access token? Yeah, received access token. We'll do that. We don't know what T is. Because we didn't specify it here. We want to register, what are the existing events that we've got? Okay, let's create a derived type, and it's going to be, it'll be an access token received event. This will be a public object that can get created. And in my other ones, do I constructor them? I do pass the values sometimes, right? Yes, I do. Good. Okay. So let's have a look at what we're supposed to receive when we call this. So taking a look at the documentation, the return values that we're supposed to get. That's the authorization flow. So it's these values. Your user gets redirected to. So we get the access token. So step one is, so the first thing is a string access token. The next thing is the scope, the state, and a token type. Okay, scope is an interesting one. I put it in here as a string, but scope is actually going to be a list of string. So I'm going to do that and immediately make it one. So now I'm actually going to use a Resharper helper there that gets me a constructor that has all the properties on it. So yay. Let's make this event, well, I don't want a full screen Visual Studio. I want to move that to its own file. And now I want to say, oh, access token received. There we go. I don't think that has to be T anymore. I think that can actually know it's an access token. Yeah, there we go. Much better. So access token received. So we're going to say, when we get this, we want to view model, like set these values or something. We need to do something at this point. Or something else needs to be listening for those. You know what? We're going to have more than one thing listening to that event. That's the answer. We're going to have something else listening to that event. Twitch settings. You are going to listen to this event. Because this one, Zultralord, isn't it though? It's super nice. That's why I mentioned to people, like, even when Resharper causes me problems, they have enough good things that I still stand that it is worth having tools like that. Yes, and hi, Zultralord, welcome. Glad you're here at the stream. And I'm glad everybody's here. Okay, so to do set values based on this. Ooh, this is a good question. So I'm wondering a thing here as we do this. So the static value that we used, the view model state, okay. Good. I just wanted to confirm that I could get that. Since I can get it there, I'm not going to worry about rejiggering the order of like the responsibilities of anything here. We'll wire it together this way. Because that's not a terrible thing. Okay, so when we receive the access token here, we're going to say this dot close. We'll close this window. Then back here, we're going to say if e.state equals Twitch auth view model dot state. If those match, then it's valid. And we'll say alright, did I do anything weird with this? If the value's not that, then set the value. Okay, so thinking about this here, I'm debating whether or not we need to trigger a save, like an automatic save when this happens. I don't necessarily want to save the whole thing, but I kind of feel like if they did this, we need to save this piece, because this really is like an important setting. So maybe we pop up a message box that asks whether or not they want to save. Okay, so because I'm gonna actually do this, I am gonna have to put you all on the hide screen for a minute while I try this. So, because I obviously don't want to show my OAuth token on stream. How are we getting the token? So we're actually sort of. So what we're doing is we're essentially going to put a web browser inside of a window, load them into a page. They'll type in their credentials, and that page that they're on is supposed to redirect back to us. When that happens, we get a value that hopefully we can trigger based on I need to do that. You are right, Zultralord. I didn't actually make that handler yet. Naarma, hello, greetings, welcome. Long time no see, which is mostly my fault. Hey, Pudding, welcome. Glad to see some people saying hi in chat. Always nice. I need to put the handler for that URL on the page. So we need localhost. So the index page needs to watch for an access token. Do we have an index page? Did I root myself an index page? I did not. Let's make a controller that is a home controller. Add item, controller. We're going to call this home controller. It's an empty MVC controller. That's right. Home. Layout in views shared. Oh, we could put something in like a views shared location, Dimitri, but we don't actually have any layout stuff because this isn't really a website. The only place it displays is here over my stream for this app, so there is not really a layout. Every page is a unique piece. There's no consistency between it, so we don't need to share anything. The project is, so our project is an interesting one. We are a WPF application that spins up a web browser so that you can display overlays on a stream like this one. So that's actually the idea with that. Pudding, doing pretty well. We're making some interesting progress on this, and I think it is going well. Yeah, so Leshrak, I totally agree. It is a dangerous practice to enter your credentials into an application. At the end of the day, they were planning on at least giving a bunch of permissions, but yes, you're right. There's a huge difference between entering their OAuth token into my application and them typing a username and password in to my application, because obviously the app could just pretend that that's Twitch, and they have no way to know that that's not Twitch. So you are correct. I could, and in fact, maybe I should actually kick out to a web browser and actually just spin up their own web browser, and when they type it in, that could send them right back to my page. And it would actually redirect in there also. So that's actually a good point. Maybe I should open up a web browser instead of opening up a page that shows their shows a web browser in it. I might do that, because then it's in their browser and they can at least see the URL, verify that they really are on Twitch. So that's probably a better way to do it. So I will do that once we make this work, because that does sound nicer. And by nicer, I mean friendlier. Friendlier is probably a better word. Okay, so I don't need to show a view when they hit this page. I can just say okay. I don't need a view, I just need to say okay. I need to give it a route. Is that its route? Let me try this. I'm gonna open up a web browser, see what we get here. Let's find out. Okay. Site's running. Localhost. Status page is working. Can I get to the root? And it says hello? Okay, so we can hit the root. That's good. This is still my favorite page, by the way. This one right here. We did this one in our last stream. This is the page that just lets you put this somewhere on your site, or somewhere in your display. Here you go, S&B. I think what you meant to say was this. Oh no, because Final Fantasy VII's not running. Oh no, I forgot it was doing that. Derp. No, it looks horrible. Oh no, because it goes to black every time. Hang on. I gotta fix this. It looks so bad. It looks so bad. Yeah, it's not supposed to be going to the black screen every time. The reason why is because it goes to check what the current. Whoa! Why is the game's supposed to be muted? I intentionally keep this game muted so we don't run into problems like that. I don't want to have any game audio running because like I don't. Oh yeah, see, look, it's already going. All right, still running. Yep. I think maybe. Yeah. So this is yeah. So it's fixed. It works as long as Final Fantasy VII is running. That's the idea. So it's Final Fantasy VII is the key that makes it work. So if you look at this screen here, which actually, let me do this because I can. Hang on. There we go. So because my program's running, you get that down there. So there we go. So you probably didn't even notice that I have this running the whole time because you can't see it unless I turn it on. So oh, right. I'm like, why is it saying launch it? Oh, right, the S&B command. So yeah, you'll see it's changing in game. So this is the program that we wrote. It does this kinds of stuff with stream interaction. So the fun one is obviously seeing the colors change as you're playing the game, because that's visually interesting to watch. But we added a lot of other things that are not just color changing. So anyway, the point is the main page works and we get that response. So what that tells me is that I need to go in here and I need to add into the constructor of this controller do I need a dependency, or am I just firing off a... You know what, I'm just firing off an event in here, aren't I? Do I want to check... Do I want the view model in here? I'm not sure. We'll leave that there for now. Domain events, raise a new access token received event with the values. You know what? I'm going to comment that out right now and say this dot context. Let's drop a breakpoint right there because I want to find out what's going on. Oh yeah, depending on where you stop, it can get pretty bad. I agree. But the idea in the game is that it's actually very readable. If I switch that to using the game's font, it's actually fine. Because the font that they used in the game, because they were doing this, has both white and black on every letter, so that regardless, there's contrast, is sort of the way that they did it. So they made a font that displays regardless of background color. So, let me fix the colors, though, by just doing this. Menu defaults. And it goes back to default colors. Okay, so we happen to have an example that they sent us right here. Now, I'm hoping that our port number is respected by Twitch, and it allows us to connect to our port number. But we're about to find out. So when I do this, so I want to leave the page first off so that I can get here. There we go. Because the problem is changing a URL with a hashtag does not actually re-navigate. It does not re-request the page. That's how all the little like JavaScripty stuff, when it's updating the URL, that's why it's after the little number sign. Yes, S&B. The domain events class that we're using is just one of mine. At some point I might swap it out for... think of it kind of like a poor man's mediator that we just tossed in there for the sake of it. But obviously, we should probably be using the actual mediator pattern for it, and use the existing library that Jimmy Bogard maintains. Because it'll handle some of that stuff a little bit better for us. So let's have a look. What is in the HTTP context? Where's the request? Excuse me. Request, here it is. So inside the request, what is in here? So we didn't get anything weird there. Because they were sent in that way, they're not query string parameters. Are they considered route values? No, we just have that. Does AspNet not send them up? Am I actually going to have to grab them with JavaScript? Oh, you guys, I am going to smack them. Oh, Nyarma, you're doing a crash course in AspNetCore. Very nice. It is fun. Can I not get it? AspNetCore, URL fragment, can I get it that way? Says I can get it on one of those. Request dot. Yeah, can I capture this? I don't necessarily need it in the route. That's a query string. Yeah, no, you need this. Okay, so in order to do that, I'm actually gonna have to make a page. That's annoying. Had a conversation with a local company Friday, and I have to turn in a small application next week. Oh, Nyarma, that's awesome! Good luck with that. I hope it goes well. If you've got questions or anything like that, you know, let us know. We would be glad to offer some guidance. Okay, so I feel like this should be an API controller then. Mr. Shoji, hey, welcome. You're setting up a Windows server with Active Directory. Wait, they want to see Active Directory connection with this? That is ridiculous. I say ridiculous because, like, you set up so when you build an application that's going to use Windows Auth or even like OAuth through an Active Directory server, you do that once. And then you don't do it again. So, like, nobody really knows how to do it because you set it up. I mean, okay, someone knows how to do it. But what I mean is that you do it one time, and then 3 years later, it's still going. And you don't go do it again. It's going pretty well, Mr. Shoji. I am setting it up so that the connection to Twitch can be done inside of the application. Glad you can confirm that no one actually knows how to set that up. That is true. Anytime I have to do stuff like that, I actually had to do it recently. I admit, and like I do mean recently, and I don't remember how to do it. Like that's how quickly I'm like, I will not need to remember this out of the brain. Just get it out of here. I don't need to keep that knowledge in there. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. All right. So this is Auth token controller? Auth token? Yeah, exactly. You read a tutorial. Yes. Precisely. You read a tutorial one time just doing exactly what it says, and then you forget all about it. You're like, nope. Don't need anything else. I'm good. All right. So we're not doing it. So we want to post something to it. We're going to do an action result with an OK at the end of it. HTTP post. Post, and this is going to be API auth. Are my batteries dying or something? What's going on? Why are you not connecting? Post. Okay. Return okay. What is going on? They wanted an application that interacted with Active Directory. Already had to start over once because some stupid tutorial said set the local to yeah, Mr. Shoji, I've had the same problem. I have not been working much on this application lately, but finally back to doing a little bit for it, so that's good. Okay, so we're just returning a basic action result, no type on this. It's going to be an iAction result, and the post needs to receive some data. So what data is it going to receive? It needs to have a... What was my token called? Access token received. I think this has the properties on it. It does. Scope. We're just gonna make that a string for now. We won't worry about it. It'll be a string. We'll split it later. Okay, so we're gonna raise that event when we receive this. So we're gonna post up that value and then send that in. So we need to do an access token received. Don't need this open. So this is the object. So then in the other one, we need to make a home page. So menu copy is going to become home. And then the index of this one needs some basic stuff on it. So there's no layout. This is the home page. We don't need signaler. We don't need view. We aren't going to show anything here. We need a script that's looking for something and going to say something when it shows. That's about it. Why is this in body? I don't know why this is in body. Should be in the header. I don't need any CSS. We're literally not showing anything here. Okay. So when this page loads, we need to just look for those fragments. That's not the one I was looking for. Get URL fragments. Fragments? And no, I'm not waiting for the DOM to load. I'm not using the DOM at all. You were wondering, what do you think best, using third-party service to handle authentication, or is it better to implement it yourself? SNB's response is the correct answer. You do not implement authentication yourself. That being said, you can, if all you meant was use the authentication system that's like baked into your framework. So for example, if you're an ASP.NET Core, it has an identity system built in that you can leverage. You can use those ones. But really what we want to emphasize is don't try to do your own password management. Don't try to do your own user management. Always use one that was written by some kind of security expert. So all the major companies hire security experts, and large open source projects, and by large I mean like the big ones that are building like frameworks that we are building stuff on top of. Those ones tend to bring in security experts to make sure that their authentication is done correctly. So there are plenty of third-party auth services out there. That really is one of the great ways of doing things. Hang on, what did, if you didn't get it the moment you pressed OK, said lost connection as it was connected to RDP. Yeah. Nairma, that's yeah, you didn't want to set that to localhost. As also, location properties like hash and query are also available on A elements. Yeah, okay. So then this, if we do this, that should alert what it is. So let's go ahead and try this, and we'll just see what happens when we load that page again. Net, no problem, Net. That's one of those things that we don't let people learn that one by doing and failing. So a lot of things it is great to learn by having the chance to mess up. We don't do that with okay, I don't need that breakpoint there. Well, I really thought this page was gonna alert me, but maybe not. No, that's not. Oh, I didn't say view! Son of a... It's right here. View. Is someone in chat yelling at me about that? Someone better have been yelling at me about that. Yeah, that's yeah, we all do the dumb mistake sometimes. We all do. Okay, so essentially what's supposed to happen is after the user authenticates with Twitch, it redirects them to a page that has a URL that looks kind of like this one. And then this, oh, it jumps it back and it has the whole thing there. Awesome. Okay, so perfect. That gets us the string that we want. So fantastic, that did what we need. So this is the full hash right here. So we'll call this full hash. So if we have the fragment, then we're going to do a thing based on that. Ace Flameseer, hey, long time no see, welcome. It's okay. You were in the kitchen, you came back to say that you work for one of those companies that decided to implement their own authenticate, and yes, no one anywhere should even briefly consider it. Yes, exactly, yes. That's the point. You shouldn't be writing your own authentication unless that's the point of your company. If you work for Auth 0, for example, absolutely. Implement your own. Like, that's your business. But no one else should be writing their own authentication system. And if you really do need like a really fancy one, there are companies like, and there are probably other ones, but the only one I actually know of is Auth 0, because I know a lot of people that work there. I hang out with a lot of their advocates when they're out at events, which is part of the reason why companies like that send their advocates to those events, because then people, you know, that are attending the event, as well as you know, other people that go and speak, are going to know of them and talk about them. You had a client that insisted you roll your own auth. Yeah, no kidding, it wasn't good. So back in like the early 2000s, there were still a significant number of sites that did that. So I've had to pick up and fix a lot of old websites that ran their own auth. The number of times I've run into old websites that I've been like replacing, and I've opened them up and been like, you have clear text passwords in a database. We're fixing that now. This is like negligent, you know, like if anyone finds out, you're in a lot of trouble. And so it's one of those like, yeah, no, this needs to get fixed. Like, before I got here, this needed to be fixed. We're fixing this today. Yeah, exactly. So, yes, the EU throwing in like huge fines for this. So, I mean, without naming names, I've seen HIPAA violations, which I'm pretty sure in the U.S. those are like $250,000 per incident. And as soon as I see them, I'm like, nope, we're fixing this now. We're doing this immediate. Like, this just happens right now, because like you will be in massive amounts of trouble, and I'm pretty sure I'm in trouble for seeing it if I see it and don't fix it. So we're fixing this today. They didn't trust AspNetCore in general. Don't even implement your own account system. Just use Google, Facebook, Twitter, and be done with it. Yeah, that exactly. So some of the times why I allow like the local accounts to exist is just because it's easy for testing and things like that, just to have a local account. But yes, using third-party author thing is also nice. Oh yeah, I've seen plain text in a lot of places. It was surprisingly common. In fact, like, even some of the big name companies you'll hear about, like, oh yeah, they had this in clear text. You're like, wait, what? They had what in clear text? Are you kidding me? Yeah. We put in some dud code to show them and used identity anyway, then hidden under... Mr. Shoji, congratulations. That is one way to do it. Just be like, oh yeah, look, we rolled our own. Yes. Alright, so we've got this. What do we want to do? I don't even remember how to do this in What, is it split? I think it is split, just like it is in C#. And then the separator is the first parameter. Oh, maybe I should, you know what? Hang on. What's it look like? What's it look like? Come on. Here it is. Alright, so this is the structure of the string we're getting at this point. Let's assume that they're always going to give us the correct order. So if we do full hash dot split, and we split on the ampersand, then that means that we can map each one doing a split on each one on the... You know, I should really be doing this in an actual JavaScript like interpreter, say in the console in the browser. That would be smart. Why am I doing this here? Yeah, I should do this over in a browser. So we're gonna take this. We're going to hop over here. We're going to F12 this sucker and bring up the console. And we're going to let full hash equal, oops, that string. There it is. And then we're going to try this real fast. So we're going to split this on the equals sign. And always take the second item. So it should get us 4 items that are those objects. The auth token, the scope, and what's the last one? The token type? Let chunks equal that, because I don't have a better name for it right now. Split that on that, and always take the second item. So there's what that is. So that'll get us all these pieces, and then I'm gonna say this is going to be the data is going to be this, and we're gonna say access token is chunks 0, and I think the second one's scope. Yep. Scope is chunks 1. State is chunks 2. And the last one, what is that called? Token type. Chunks 3. Yes, that is horrible. I don't like the name chunks. Cool. I like the name Brendan. It's a nice name. Pieces, fragments. I guess they'll be the fragments. I like chunks, though. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's pieces, fragments, whatever you want to call it. It matters very little. All right. Since we're doing this right off the bat like this, I'm gonna put the whole thing on here. We're going to say grab the hash, substring it, split it, and then do a map splitting it and grabbing the first item. Then we're going to take this, we're going to make that the data. How do we want to send this up? So first off, Axios CDN. Axios min. There we go. Let's see what I grabbed. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I was hoping for a whole script tag. Source, that. There we go. Yeah. Sorry, got myself laughing right now. Wait, what? Oh, did I not close it? Oh, I didn't close it. I'm like, why is it red? Yeah. Yes, I also use it all the time, and I'm currently blanking. My brain's not working today. I admit it. So the nice thing about programming is, while it is a brain-based activity, sometimes you really just don't actually need your brain to be working, yet you can still kind of make it work. So yeah, that's the one we wanted. Actually, why didn't I use... Yeah, let's use that one. That one sounds great. There we go. And then down here... do I want to require it in like that? No, I have it just on the page, so we're just going to do... Where is a post? I need a post, not a get. There we go. Axios post. Yeah. That's the example I needed. We're hitting the root of this site. Our object is data instead of this. That's the data we're sending up, and then console log the stuff done. Yay! And yes, S&B is correct. All developers, I should say all developers that are worth paying to do anything are going to go hit Google for all the various things. Your brain should not be filled with the syntax of how you do XYZ thing for all the stuff that you don't do all that often. Your brain should be filled with, like, solving problem skills. And part of the reason for that is, did you see how long it took me to Google the syntax for that and do it? Like, that was cake. I don't need to waste space on that. The entire project is one of... wait, what is this? I regret programming sometimes when my brain wasn't working. Yeah, no, it does happen, Narama, but all I mean is, like, yeah, when you're just, like, in kind of one of those, like, yeah, let's just make this work kind of modes, you don't really need, just don't do anything crazy, is the short answer. Local host. So here's the base page. Let's bring up this just in case there's anything happening. I want the console there. Reload. We don't have the hash code, so it should not be doing anything, and so far it looks like it's not, which is good. It's not supposed to. So let's take us over to the status page, so that when we go back to this page, it actually changes it. Oh, that wasn't the page I was supposed to hit. I am dumb. Auth token controller. Derp. Yeah, that'd be important. Let's make that go to the correct place. Okay, so what are we doing? Zultralord, I'm glad you like the approach. So I will tell you, for a lot of things, The best way to learn anything in programming is to go try it. That goes for everyone. Ooh, oh, it's API auth token. Derp. Oh man, one of these days I'm going to just get it right out of the gate and we're going to be good. Do not write a system that allows chat to control FF7 by manipulating the memory the game is running in. Oh, SMB, that's great advice. I should mention, I did submit that as a session to CodeMash. So I am going to do a session of CodeMash if they accept it, where I talk about what we were doing here, how we got started on this, and that sort of thing, and also why it's completely crazy, because it kind of is. And by kinda, I mean greatly so. Ooh, 500 error. That's not bad. Did you not get me the 500 error though? Request failed with status code 500. Did we not hit that page? API/auth token post. You know what? I'm going to try one that does not have any parameters, just to see what happens. Because it could be that it's not seeing the correct parameters to hit, and that could be why it isn't getting it. Yeah, so 500 errors just means that there was a server error. That's all it means. It's not really like, you know, bad. It just means that it had a problem on the server. That's really all that one is. And a SAML identity provider library that isn't components. Yeah. So there's you can do it with it's the what is it? It's Azure single sign-on. So basically, like the Azure Active Directory, it does use SAML, so you can connect to that one. So, yep, there's a SAML endpoint for if you are using essentially Azure as your authentication system. Huh. Okay, so we come in and we want to do this, so we come out and we get the console error. What's the error? Console. Whoops, I meant to do this one, console? Where's this one's console? There we go. Error dot, no data, just says internal server error. We were past, so we did a post with this data that looks valid. Why is that not, what is going on? ConLab. So we're HTTP, not HTTPS here. Just so that, because it's going to be running on other people's computers, they might not be able to have a certificate for this. So because they aren't going to have certificates, because this could be regular users, we're not running this with SSL, and there's no secure communication that's really going on between these, per se. Ooh, we might need to accept SSL. Crap. Are they ever going to respond back without it? You're right. Our local dev server may end up having to be HTTPS on it. We might. We'll find out. 418. Just trying. Component space just lets me use the library to wrap our concept of a user and the appropriate same. Yeah, we might actually have to enable HTTPS. I hadn't thought about that. So originally when we were writing the application, we were just running entirely local on their machine, and there would never be anything coming from outside, so it would be weird to have accepted something else. But now thinking about it, I wonder, so if the way that we're transferring to this page is from JavaScript, doing the redirect. So if we're connected to Twitch on HTTPS and they want to send us back to a non-HTTPS page, I think they can without getting a security error. And because, again, it would only be localhost, it wouldn't really be a problem because we'd never be sending the actual request away from their machine, and it would have the information would have reached their machine through secure means. So it wouldn't be a huge problem, but it would be clear text once it's on their computer. So the question is just whether or not Twitch is going to let us get away with that. Let me simplify this. So I'm going to go back to the page. I am not going to send up data. We're just going to send up nothing and see what happens. Console, refresh the page. Okay, we get here. And request failed again. Huh. Same error? Internal server error. API auth token. The other API pages work, right? Menu color values? Let's hit the values controller. Okay, so the values controller works. Do I maybe not have API controller on it? Is that maybe why it's not working? No, I do. It's API controller. It's routed. Auth token controller. It's definitely set as a post. Then action result is the value. Maybe that's all it's missing? Why is it not like that? Oh, because the application is running. I'm like, why is it complaining? What's wrong? That's totally valid. Yeah, I probably should just hit it with Postman. So every afternoon, the problem is, yeah, exactly. We're not getting a message that actually tells us what's going wrong. So it's hard for us to actually tell what is happening. And the person suggested, why is Postman not on my taskbar? I must have accidentally unpinned it at some point. That's weird. Either way, let's try running this once. So the API values works, and then this one we reload. We're still getting the error, so let's make a collection for the interactive 7. Okay, so what are we trying to connect to? This page? Well, that's the page we're going to. This is the page we're trying to hit, we think. So let me add a request, and this is going to be auth token. In this, we're not doing a get, we're doing a post to that URL, and we are sending up in the body, let's say, raw data that looks like, where is it? Index CSHTML. Okay. I can make this just be words. Scope, and I apologize everybody, I've got this off screen, but I guess I can toss it on screen, it's not a huge deal. Because normally I keep Postman on the other screen because, you know, I'll have access tokens and things like that showing on it, but there won't be right now, so... So those should be in there. Is the stack trace in VS output irrelevant? So we're not getting a stack trace in Visual Studio every afternoon. I don't think. I think this one... Well, actually, that's a good question. What is this? Maybe it is. Premise construction. Oh! Every afternoon you win a prize. There's our problem. Yeah, exactly. Don't show access tokens on screen. How long ago did someone change the color? SNB did 10 minutes ago, and I just noticed that he changed the color. Shows you how much I was paying attention to that. There we go. Thanks every afternoon. I hadn't even noticed there was a stack trace there. Hey, Rambling Geek, welcome. You were having some fun stuff on your stream when I was there for a bit. I did watch as people were messing with stuff. So those values did not get set. Let's remove this because I don't think that's accurate. Well, Zoltralord, I was actually just going to send it from there, and when it failed in Postman, we were eventually going to have to figure that out. There wasn't going to be anything special in here. Literally in Postman, all we were going to do was just send the same value. So, here, I can click it from this side if you want. Unsupported media type, because I didn't tell it what that type was. We are posting... Yeah, I need to tell it that it was not text, it is JSON. This, I think, actually needs to have... I think this needs to be, like, valid JSON data, which means I need to put in these in order to have it in there. Oh, or are they... No, I think they're double quotes. I think that's the problem. I might be smoking something. Yeah, I think these have to be double quotes. So in order to actually send up JSON data, you've actually got some pretty hefty restrictions on how it's written. It has to be, yeah. More validation errors occur. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with like getting my JSON correct. That's gonna just be annoying. And I'm actually mildly low on time, so sorry, Ultralord. No worries. You do have to actually get the JSON formatted correctly, which I really should go over into the browser window, steal the JSON and pull it over. But for now, I'm actually just gonna hit that page, which sends up the data, because Axios will automatically convert my JSON object into JSON data that is sent up here. And this hopefully has its properties. No, it doesn't have the properties. That's a good question. Why don't you have the properties? So it knows it is one, but it didn't bind it. Oh, derp. I know why. Anybody remember when I tried to simplify things and I said, hey, I'm just going to remove data from here? Anybody remember that? Oh, yes, someone did remember it. Thank you. That was a super response there in chat. Yep. Glad someone remembered that. Let's see. Hey, we have our values now. Okay, good. Alright, so what that means is that we can now raise the event, which should be responded to elsewhere then. So did we register something to listen for this one? The auth window did. So did Twitch settings. The state wasn't lining up, so that's why we didn't catch that breakpoint. But let's try it again and just see if we did catch the breakpoint. Okay, so we came over here. That's the auth. That's the state we were looking for. What we actually got was this one, and that's fine. Their absurd, like, little fake one is totally okay. We're going to pretend like that matched up, and then we would set that value, which I am not going to do, because holy cow, that's dangerous. Oh, don't do that, Brendan. Yeah, don't do that. Don't, you know, lose your OAuth token. Also, don't show it on screen. Either of those things. Don't do either of those things, Brendan. Yeah. Don't do that. I'm not going to do that. But either way, it looks like we got the value, so that is cool. So we're going to say if the state matches, which it should, and token type equals bearer. We're supposed to be getting back a bearer token. Then go ahead and set it. We'll leave that to do there, but I think that, like, I want to try it, but I think that might work. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to try running this. Hang on, let me look at one other thing. Twitch OAuth view model. We send out that. What do I say is the redirect URL? Redirect URL is right there. Localhost colon 7777. Okay. Let's look at their example and see what they said to put in there. Request, redirect. So they just leave it like that, and they don't have an ending slash. So I'm going to try this. So that should be our redirect URL. Response type, token, scope, state. Okay. Gonna try it. I'm gonna put the screen on hide while I do this because there's a high likelihood that it will show my OAuth token, which I don't want to do, obviously. So, 1 second while I put that up there. You should all still be able to hear me and see everything. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I am gonna click on the login to Twitch button. It opens up my Twitch OAuth window, which is a nice little window here. And hang on while I put in my username and my password. Oh, right. That's valid. It's now asking me. I two-factor auth all my stuff, everyone, because I'm not a crazy person. Do. Type in this fun number. Do. Says I'm about to leave Twitch and that it doesn't have control over the security of localhost. It says about to leave Twitch, but hasn't like actually left yet. So yeah, I'm thinking I want to do this in a browser like was being suggested a while ago, instead of doing it in-app. So we'll have it send out to a browser because it's not redirecting me. And I can't see the results of the not redirection. So what that says to me is, let's open up a browser, because that's not going to work this way. So we do know what we need to do. So instead of opening up a little window like we were, we're going to open up their browser the same way that we did our other one. So inside of main window, we spin up one of these. So let's greetings. I am doing pretty well. So let's change that command. The show Twitch auth command, instead of showing that little window, is going to do this instead. Import types, that's fine. There's no handled. The URL it's going to go to, it no longer needs the service provider or any of that stuff. Actually, it needs that view model. So Twitch auth view model will be right here. Auth request URL. So this should open up a web browser going to that URL when we do this. Okay. So now when we run this, we're no longer going out to that other window. So, whoops, I meant this window. Doesn't do its thing. What was it doing? It was watching for the source to change. We weren't doing anything over there right now. Okay, cool. That's fine. Let's try this one more time. But then I will have to duck out of here. But cross your fingers, as we're going to try this again. So I'm heading over into settings, and I'm going to click this little button that is supposed to open up a browser. So let's try and get it to open up this window, but we'll see what it does. Anyway, let me go ahead and hide the screen again. Let's see what it does. It opened up in the correct browser window, so that's awesome. Let me go ahead and get username and password in there. Okay. It's going to take a moment because I have to two-factor auth again. So numbers. No. Okay, so it sent me to localhost, which is not correct. It says redirect mismatch. So that is on me. I registered my token poorly in here, I think. Let me go change my app while this is still hidden here. Oh, no, that's wrong. Wrong one, Brendan. Wrong one. Copy username. Copy password. Login. Sorry, everyone. I know I've still got you on the no peeking screen. I apologize about that. It's the problem with logging into accounts and doing it on the main screen. Okay, let's go. Okay. Yep. That's fine. So this is the application. Can I put in the port number? I was hoping it would not require it. I'm not a bot. Thank you. Okay. So 10777. Yeah. Okay. So that's correct now. So now I'm just going to try it again in the application. I'm going to click the button one more time. Oh. Okay. Hang on. No, this is the wrong account. So I want to switch accounts, and I need to do, because I want to do the bot account, not mine. And then, come on. Okay, hang on. There we go. So it's going to redirect me to there. Send live stream chat and room messages. View your whisper messages. Send whisper messages. So, yep. Now we get to this point. Have I received... hang on. Wait. I think it's working. I got to leave the no peeking screen on because I'm actually going to look. That is an access token. That is all the scoped permissions. That, I think, is the correct state. It says it's a bearer token. State matched. I don't want to set that because I don't have it in the correct format because I need to add the text like OAuth in front of it. But other than that, it worked perfectly. So, hooray, cheers, celebration, lots and lots of hype. Let me bring you all back here. So first off, it works. It came back. It had an access token in here for me. It created it. It got us to this point. We had the matching state value that they sent back, and everything connected. Yes, so the code actually works perfectly as is. The only thing I need to add to it is literally this. I need to say OAuth : that. So literally that's all that was missing is this piece, and then it should work just fine. Should save it. We still need to do the to-do of actually like forcing a save, but I am thrilled by how well that worked because it actually just did it, right? It could have just come back and been like, you know, nope, we didn't get it, but no, that worked exactly the way that we expected it to. So awesome. That is a very nice way to end a stream, is on a nice high note like that one. Let's have a quick look around. Who's live right now? That's a be right back screen. That's a game. He's been streaming all day. She has 1 million viewers. Let's see, where do we want to go? I wish there was someone going right now that was like... There's no one playing Final Fantasy VII with our stuff right now, is there? Because if there was someone running with our program, I would say, like, let's just jump over there. Because we know how to run all the code. But I don't see anyone running it right now. So, huh. We click this. Zoltralord, yeah, I'm going to commit and push these changes. Yeah, I think it actually worked pretty well. So we banged our head against the wall a bunch of times, but the nice thing is this should actually be a pretty simple approach. And the cool thing, so just a heads up to everyone, I am going to do a follow-up stream where we're going to do this same thing again for our color switcher. So the thing that does the overlay color changing on our stream, where, you know, we can type this. So that is a system tray only application that needs to do the same thing because it has to connect into Twitch to be able to watch for anybody to type in a color. And so we're going to make it so that when you click on it, there's a context menu and it will bring up the browser to authenticate, change your access token, and save that as well. So I want to do that as just a little application that does it, and that will be like the example of how to just set this up, because that'll be the smallest like application you could just have running that is a Twitch chatbot. So really cool, nice stuff that I'm looking forward to, doing something with. Where do we want to go? I guess we could jump over here. That'd be a weird transition though. But yeah, why not? Yeah, no, well, we're gonna look in the live coders. Who's live? Who's live right now? Who's live? That's a be right back screen. Why do we have a be right back screen? That's game playing. We don't want game playing. I guess we'll jump over here. He's building some kind of a thing. Let's see. So, I do want to mention a couple of things to everybody. If you are new here, first off, welcome. We're glad to have you as part of our community. If you are interested in talking more with us outside of the stream, and also the place where I usually post the most kind of stuff about streams that are going to happen, is our Discord. Go ahead and join that. If you don't know what it is, it's a chat application. It's commonly used by gamers, Twitch streamers, and a lot of open source projects use it as well for collaboration. I like it quite a bit, and I think you will too. So feel free to check it out, chat with us about stuff if you like. If you want to see any of our source code, you can find all that on GitHub at github.com/devchatter. Additionally, if you are interested in seeing our future episodes, make sure you click the follow button, as that is the best way to get notified when we go live. And if you missed any of our past episodes, you can actually find full archives of us building all the stuff, including, I talked about the system tray only application. We did that in a single stream, just a couple of hours. We built that little program that's WPF and ASP.NET Core. It spins up a web server, spins up a web server and runs locally so that we can display this stuff on the screen, and works pretty nicely. If you want to see how we did that, archives of all this stuff is out on YouTube. You can find it, link over there, link down below as well. And if you are someone that is watching this on YouTube, hello, person in the future. Hopefully everything's nice. So lastly, I want to make sure that we run our credits, and once we do that, then we will go ahead and raid on over. So please do follow me along as we go on this raid, as that is a nice thing to do for the community. So I want to make sure that I thank our moderators for helping out today. S&B, thank you for hanging out. Nathan, or with Nathan, thank you for following. And I want to thank Green Dolphin S&B for the 16 and I think 13-month resubs from the two of them. I might be off by one on one or more of those. But either way, have a fantastic day, everyone. Hopefully I'll see you for a weekday stream. I don't know the timing of that yet. I'm going to try to get one in there, just so that we're not only doing weekends. But have a great one. Happy coding. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye, everyone.